Guys, GoodMaps for Android, is it any good?
All right. Hello, everybody.
/w/crk6mjf4tlfh. Explore.
It looks like we are live. Okay.
Red Circle Line Tech Guys Podcast. GoodMaps for Android, is it any good?
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Nimmer, and we are live today. Is 23rd of December, 2021. I'm very glad that you guys are with me here today. And we are here today to discuss GoodMaps for Android. Now, before I talk about GoodMaps, what it is not, who it's good for, anything like that, what I'm going to do is I have a couple of announcements. And number one is I'd like to thank Kurt. I would like to thank somebody called Sherlock Holmes. And I would like to thank Patrick from Melbourne, Australia, for their very, very kind donations. Definitely appreciate you three. And your efforts or your help is truly appreciated, goes to paying our costs, and that is excellent. So thank you so much. If your name is Patrick, if your name is Kurt, and your name is Sherlock Holmes, very good. Thank you very, very much. Next announcement is we have sent out a Zoom invite to all our social channels. So if you would like, you can join us on December 30th, and we will be going live at 7 o'clock and 1900 UTC time. And so that would be 11 o'clock Pacific time, US, either AM or PM, either one. The PM will be on the 29th, the AM will be on the 30th. And it would be, I don't know, but you can figure out what time that is in your time zone. There's probably way too many time zones to list. And so one of the things you can do is ask your smart speaker. I believe it would be 6 o'clock Melbourne time, PM or AM. Let's see. Hey, Google, what time is 7 o'clock UTC time in Melbourne?
Space. 1 UI Home. Explore.
6 p.m. Thursday in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia.
Okay, so 6 p.m. And so it would be 6 p.m. actually on December 30th, or 6 a.m. on December 31st. So if you're in Australia, you're in Melbourne, that's what time that would be. Again, I can't really provide time zones for every person, so please figure that out for yourself, what time that would be in your neck of the woods, and we hope that you will join us for our nice little party. Finally, if you have not checked out our website recently, we've made some updates to that because we have changed podcast providers. Yes, again, I know. If you would like to check that out, we'd appreciate that. There's some content on there, including a survey that if you would like, you can fill out. We'd be very grateful for that. It provides us feedback to know whether or not we're doing the right thing. We need to do something different. We're not doing the right thing. And you can have it be anonymous or not, and you can choose whether or not you wish survey results to be read out or not. And I'm not going to do that on this episode. I'm going to leave this one brief, but we'll do that on our full show. And we would definitely appreciate that. Also, if you have any feedback on the site itself or the survey, we definitely appreciate hearing from you as well. All right. So now, having waffled on for a while, we will move to the fun part and talk about GoodMaps for Android. Tech Explorer says hi. Hello, Tech Explorer. If you're listening to this on the podcast side, at this time it has not been edited in any way. It's just going up as is for this particular episode, and as it's going up on YouTube. So we're going to talk about GoodMaps for Android. If you are looking to get this app, I believe it's rolling out slowly to the rest of the world. It may just be US, Canada only at this time. I'm not sure. However, there is a link in the show description.
Explore.
If you wish to check out the links in the description, there is a link to the GoodMaps Explorer. But I'm going to go through the app and I'm going to tell you what I think of it. But first I'll go through the app, go through the interface, go through the setup process, and tell you what I think of it. Now, I've already gone through the setup process, and what it asks for is a lot of permissions. For example, you have to give it access to your Bluetooth. You have to give it access to your location. And you can choose whether or not you wish to have the donation is, not donation, I'm sorry. You wish to have the location always on or per app or whatever it might be, and it'll tell you exactly what it needs. And of course it tries to guide you through everything and tells you, kind of gives you warnings and all that, and tells you that it's good for doing indoor and outdoor, and kind of takes you through a tutorial. Every time you click on a tab, it will guide you through the tab and tell you what that is. My phone is going absolutely nuts, and because I'm going to be using my phone, I can't really change that. So I'm going to turn on GoodMaps Explore right now.
GoodMaps.
There we go. So we heard GoodMaps.
Location, heading, service, navigating 3 period tap to open, loading.
So we had
Facing south, near 3939 Monroe Avenue. What 3 words address? Flash. Sound. Juror. 9 feet 8 o'clock to Conklin's catering truck.
All right. So now you have my precise location, including the what 3 words address
Heading
of my
northeast,
location.
327 feet ahead to Lexington Street, 213 feet ahead to Scribbles.
So on the screen, we have some categories.
Direction, facing south.
It gives me my direction.
Nearest address, 3939
nearest
Monroe
address.
What 3 words address? Editor, limit, range.
What 3 words?
Upcoming cross street, 428 feet ahead to Fremont Boulevard.
Upcoming cross street.
Tap to see nearby POA button.
Tap to see nearby points of interest. That is what that says. I'll tap that in a second.
Nearby POI, 204 feet 11 o'clock to Taco Truck
It
Admission
tells me
San
what
Jose
the
High
nearby
School.
explore or what
Facing
the
south.
nearby point of interest is.
Location tab,
And then
selected.
along the bottom, we've got some tabs. We've got location,
Favorites tab,
favorites
unselected.
tab, so I can add a favorite.
Look around tab, unselected.
Look around tab.
More tab,
And
unselected.
the more tab. So the location tab is the one that we're currently in. The favorites tab allows you to add a favorite and to a location that you visit often. There's a search box at the top, by the way, that you can search for a particular location that you wish to access.
Location, direction,
Let's see here.
search, edit box.
So there's a search box right at the top.
Facing
Okay.
south. Home button.
Let's go to
Look favorites
so
tab,
the favorites
unselected.
tab is here as well.
Favorites tutorial. The
And it
favorites
gives
tab.
you a
Favorited POA. You
tutorial.
can favorite and to create an POA that you access your exit tutorial.
I'll exit that tutorial. It gives you a tutorial for every tab that you come to.
No next link.
All right.
Add
Let's
a
see here.
favorites heading button create.
So I can create, and that's to add a new favorite.
Add a favorite from APOI detail page by choosing add as favorite. Location tab unselected.
And so it's just that button and then that descriptor text that tells me I can add a favorite on a point of interest that I find. Okay, so that's the favorite. Now let's go to the look around tab.
Look around tab.
Look around tab.
Head southwest. Galaxy Europe.
Now what it
West.
tells you, the
Southwest.
tutorial when you
Galaxy
first open
South.
this app is
Southeast.
you have to point the top of your phone in the direction.
South. Southeast. South. Rancho Luna Apartments, 167 feet.
So you have to point your phone in the direction that you want to find out what's around that area. So as I move my phone, I just swivel it.
West. Northwest. Washington High
So
School,
northwest.
973 feet. West. Pena Loca, 763
So now I'm
feet.
pointing it
Royal
west.
Chusa, 801. Southwest. Galaxy European
southwest.
Cars, 506 feet. Perfect. South. Rancho Luna Apartments, 160. Southeast. Taco Truck Admission East. Parts House, 533 feet. Redwood Plaza, 647 feet. Northeast. Conklin's Catering Truck, about 8 feet. North. AC Transit Bus 251,677 feet. Centerville Community Park, 0.3 miles. North. South. South. Configuration. Button.
Okay, so I'm going to take it off, otherwise it'll just keep reading stuff. And what that does is, as I point my phone in a certain direction, it will tell me what points of interest are in that direction. It also gives a slight vibration every time you turn the phone 45 degrees. So, as you heard it announced, south, southeast, southwest, northwest, north, northeast, the 8 points on the cardinal scale. So in the More tab, we have Configure,
Indoor Venues, button.
Indoor Venues,
Tutorials, button.
Tutorials,
Launch Be My Eyes, external link, button.
Launch Be My Eyes, and that's another app.
About this app, external link,
About
button.
this app.
Terms of use, external link,
Terms
button.
of use.
Privacy Policy, external link, button.
Privacy Policy.
Community Discussion, button.
Community Discussion, and that's for their mailing list.
Support and Feedback, external link,
Support
button.
and Feedback.
What's new, external link,
What's
button.
new?
Version 1.3, release.
And it tells me the version
Location
number.
tab, unselected.
Okay, so let's go into...
Tutorial, launch Be My, indoor,
Before I check out the configuration settings, let's go into the indoor venues and just check out to see which indoor venues are here.
Indoor Venues.
There we go.
Indoor Venues, heading. Indoor Venues, heading. American Printing House for the Blind 1,965.5 miles east, button.
American Printing House for the Blind.
Cabell Wayne Association of the Blind, Inc.
Another association for the blind.
2,137.0 miles east, button. Charles W. McDowell Center 1,971.6 miles east, button.
Okay, another center for the blind.
CWAB Activity Center 2,137.0 miles east, button.
Some kind of activity center, no idea.
Location tab, unselected.
And that's it. It only shows 4 indoor venues. So this app was intended to be able to be used indoors, and that's what it was touted as. I'll share my opinions later on. Let's go back to the settings.
Back, button. More tab, selected. Indoor Venues. Indoor Venues, heading. Indoor Venues, heading. Back, button.
Let's go back.
Launch Be My Eye. To indoor configuration.
Okay, configuration.
Configuration, heading. Location information, button.
So we have location information.
Configuration, heading. Location.
So let's go in
Location
here.
information, heading. Notification frequency, heading.
So I can set up a notification frequency
Direction, button.
for these categories. And this is how often it notifies you for these different categories. Direction.
Nearest address and what 3 words address, button.
Nearest address.
Nearby POI, button.
Nearby point of interest.
Getting warmer POI, button.
Getting warmer point of interest.
WHAT3WORDS address, heading.
What 3 words address? Now these are different settings for that.
Include on location tab.
I can include that on the location tab, either on or off.
On, switch. Shake gesture, heading.
I can set up a shake gesture, so
Shake for location information. Off, switch.
I keep that turned off, but I can easily shake my phone to get location information.
Location tab, unselected.
And that's it. That's all the settings in that
Nearby
category.
POI,
So let's go under...
Nearby POI, nearest address and what 3 words address. Direction, button.
Let's go under direction and see what frequencies there are. Here we go.
Notification frequency, heading. Direction, heading. 10 seconds, 1 of 5, checkbox, unchecked.
So I
Double
either
tap
have
to check.
10 seconds,
30 seconds,
30
2 of
seconds,
5, 60 seconds,
60
3
seconds,
of 5, 120 seconds,
120
4 of 5,
seconds,
never, 5 of 5,
or never.
checkbox, unchecked. 10 sec direction, heading, back, button.
Let's go back,
Location, back, button.
go back.
Configuration, heading. Location, voice, button.
Under configuration again, and all those same notification options exist for those other categories I mentioned. So now I can edit the voice. So let's go under voice.
Voice, heading. Affects the voice used for audio notifications in the background. Speaking rate, heading. 50%, slider.
I can adjust the speaking rate.
Choose a voice, heading. Current voice, alpha, select, beta, gamma, unselect, delta, unselect, epsilon, unselect, zeta, unselect, beta, unselect, theta, unselect, iota, unselect, kappa, unselect, lambda, unselect, mu, unselect, nu, unselect, xi, unselect, omicron, pi, unselect, rho, unselect, location tab, unselect, row, unselected, double tap to select.
So there's all kinds of different voices that I can choose from. So let's just pick randomly. There, I just picked one.
Unselect row selected.
Didn't seem to read out anything. It's
Location,
interesting.
row.
Let's see.
This is GoodMaps Explore.
Oh, here we go. Okay,
Row,
I guess it is
unselected.
reading out. Let's go through these.
This is GoodMaps Explore. Omicron. This is GoodMaps Explore. She
This is GoodMaps Explore.
new. 4 new free apps. Battery widget, 99 cent. She new.
Oops.
She
Okay,
new.
let's try that
This
again.
is
I got
GoodMaps Explore.
a notification that came in.
New.
This is GoodMaps Explorer.
Lambda unselected.
This is GoodMaps Explorer.
Kappa unselected.
This is GoodMaps Explorer.
Iota unselected.
This is GoodMaps Explore.
Theta unselected.
This is GoodMaps Explorer.
Beta unselected.
This is GoodMaps Explorer.
Zeta unselected. Message Telegram Epsilon unselected. Double Zeta Beta
This is GoodMaps.
Zeta
This is GoodMaps Explore.
Epsilon
This is GoodMaps Explorer.
Delta unselected. This is GoodMaps Message Gamma unselected. Double tap to select.
This is GoodMaps Explorer.
Beta unselect. Message Alpha unselect.
This is GoodMaps Explorer.
Beta message Gamma Beta
Hey
Gamma
now, Marco.
This is GoodMaps.
Beta
This is GoodMaps Explore.
All right, so we got a ton of different voices.
Epsilon
Let's see, which one did I have it set on?
This is GoodMaps Explorer.
Zeta
Nope, I think you had it on this one. Let's see.
This is GoodMaps
Beta unselect.
Maybe this one?
This is GoodMaps.
Theta unselect.
One of these. Who knows?
This is GoodMaps Explorer.
There we go. She sounds all cheery, doesn't she? All right,
Affects the voice back button.
so let's go back.
Configuration heading. Audio metric meters and imperial feet units heading voice but imperial feet and miles selected.
So this is metric units.
Metric meters and kilometers.
So let's set it to meters and kilometers.
Audio notifications heading. Location information, look around, and indoor directions available as spoken notifications.
All right, so this is telling me what's available for notifications.
Foreground and background selected. Audio notifications will play when the app is open and when it is running in the background.
All right, so this controls when the notifications play.
Foreground only, unselected. Never, unselected. Saved data, heading. Last saved. Location tab, unselected.
All right. That's the other thing. It does allow you to sign in with your Google account, and that way it will save your settings and such. Okay, let's go to location, and let's hear kind of what it says.
Location, heading.
So I'm in the location, and it should be speaking notifications, but it doesn't seem to be speaking notifications. Hello, speaky.
Facing south, near 3939
finally.
Monroe Avenue.
It's
What 3 words
speaky.
address, flash, sound, juror.
Okay, let's talk about what I think of this app.
Recents. One UI home. Gmail. Explore.
Let's close
No
this app
menu
out.
item. Actions. Close.
There we go.
One UI.
All right, let's talk about what I think of this lovely app. Tech Explorer says minimalist and very useful. Okay, let's talk a little bit about that. GoodMaps Explorer is not what Nearby Explorer was. So if you were a fan of Nearby Explorer and you were hoping that GoodMaps would be a better app, unfortunately, it's not it. This is a very disappointing showing of what this app is. This is my opinions and my opinions only. Just to be very clear, I've described what the app looks like and went through it, and but now I'm giving you my opinions after using the app for about a day, a little bit less than a day. I actually did take it out walking, And I've used a ton of different GPS products and apps, and so this is where I'm coming from. Now, I think it's kind of a useless app personally. Here's why. Its ability to control certain announcements is very limited. So, for instance, if I want to hear just cross streets, I can't do that with this app. If I just want to hear points of interest and that's all I want to hear, I can't do that with this app. Another thing to note is the way that this app does notifications is it does them by time. So what that means is you set a time, for example, every 10 seconds or every 30 seconds to have notifications repeated. Frankly, this method of doing things sucks. And the reason is because you're not going to necessarily pass a new point of interest every 30 seconds. I only want to know what intersections I'm approaching as I approach them. I don't want to hear that every whatever number of seconds. And Nearby Explorer did a good job at that. GoodMaps does not do a good job at that. Another thing I don't like about GoodMaps is when I'm using the phone and, or for example, when I'm walking around and I put the phone in my pocket, the phone, and I have a Bluetooth headset on, bone conduction, aftershocks. It does not read out the notifications, or it does so very unreliably. Sometimes it will, and then I'll go a long time without hearing anything until I pull the phone out of my pocket. Now, I have gone into the advanced location settings and given the app full access, allow all the time to be able to do this. And as you saw in my settings itself, I have the option checked to read notifications in the foreground and the background. So as far as I'm concerned, it has every permission that it needs to be able to operate. It has location permissions. Everything is good. But it doesn't actually read the notifications when the phone is in my pocket reliably. And that's a big problem for me. Another problem that I have with the intersection announcements, a lot of the intersections I approached, it didn't say that I was approaching them, but it would read out, for example, my location and how far away I was from the nearest intersection as I was walking. But it doesn't actually tell you that you're right at an intersection or close to an intersection. In fact, the intersection announcements were rather inaccurate. While I was at an intersection, it told me that the intersection was 100 and some odd feet away or something. Not hugely accurate. So when I think about what GoodMaps is, now this is the first release, I understand this, but when I think about what GoodMaps is, and I think about what Lazarillo is, and I think about what Nearby Explorer is, and what other GPS apps are, this app, I think, is going to be going home back to mama. It's going kish kish. And what I mean by that is it's not a very good app. It's not very useful for me. It doesn't tell me what information I want to know. It doesn't allow me enough options to configure the app to my liking. Now, I know some people don't like all the options that something like Nearby Explorer has. But frankly, I'm a person that says give more options. Even if you have to hide them in advanced settings or something, give more options because the user should be in control of what they hear, when they hear it, how they hear it. And this app does not give you that control. Another thing is when it tells you how far away something is or what point of interest it is, there's no way to change it so it does either clock face, right or left, in degrees. I actually prefer degrees, degree heading. There's no way to do that with this app. And that's really unfortunate as well. So it just lacks some really basic settings. The compass was off a lot of the time, particularly when I was walking around. When I just point the phone in the look around mode, it did fine. It was okay. But when I'm walking about and it read my heading, I would be walking in the same direction, and I walk pretty quickly. One time I was walking north, and then all of a sudden I was walking south. So it's not very accurate in that respect either. The voices that it gives you, they're very badly named. They're still using the same as the Google text-to-speech voices, but for some strange reason I won't ever understand, they decided to label the voices alpha, beta, whatever. As you heard, there's a ton of voices there, but they gave them the strangest labels. And I have never seen those labels attached to those voices before. So if you're thinking or considering trying this app out, first of all, it doesn't seem like it works in a lot many parts of the world. But if you are in the US or Canada and it does work, or if it does come to your region, I'd be interested in hearing your thoughts on this app to see if you share my thoughts or not. And I also would say, as much as possible, to anybody listening, to submit any feedback that you have to the GoodMaps team. And they do have their mailing list in the app and such that you can join under the More tab. You can go to Community and do that. And I would say submit your feedback to them. But this app is not something that I think is a very good app. I think it has a really long way to go. And I even more so stand by what I said before, that it is a complete shame that we got rid of Nearby Explorer, because this app does not replace it. It doesn't even come close. In any case, let's see, do we have any more comments on here? Kurt said, I noticed sometimes said my closest intersection was 2 blocks away when I have like 3 streets between me and what it says. Yeah, so this kind of backs up my point that it's just not a very accurate app. And it's just rather unfortunate. And I think hopefully they will update this app. And I don't know what maps it's using. It doesn't even tell you what maps it's using. No, I haven't read its manual. I have a thing about reading manuals. I never read manuals. So maybe someone who decides to read the help section might be able to find out what maps they're using. But, you know, I think it's just bad. It's just really bad. And if you're APH or whoever it is that you sold out to, you know, to do this GoodMaps, there's absolutely no reason why you couldn't keep using the old Nearby Explorer. You took away a blind person's ability to navigate competently because it was the best navigation app on any platform without question. There is no argument. There's no debate. You can, of course, try to argue with me, but by far, Nearby Explorer was the best app on either platform because it allowed the most number of customization and it gave the best accurate information. So GoodMaps does not do that, and that is unfortunate. Now, again, I would like to thank Kurt for his donation, and I would like to thank who is it? Patrick from Melbourne, Australia, for his donation, and Sherlock Holmes for his donation. And I'd like to say thank you very much for coming on here and watching. If you liked this content, please hit that like button, share it out, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you're not already, tweet it, share the podcast out with all your friends, like us, tweet us, put us on Reddit, whatever you like to do, get the word out about this. If you dislike it, well, let us know, and we'll try to improve. Please also thank Marco for his pings while the podcast was going on and all the extra chatter. Very good. And I think that will be all. I want to wish everybody who celebrates a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And again, please join us on the 30th for our party, either 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. 1900 UTC time. And I tried to go through some of those times at the beginning of this. So we hope that you'll join us. Remember to go to our website. Let us know what you think of that. Fill out that survey. Thank you all for watching. And we'll see you all next time.